If you were given the opportunity to save lives, would you? Well, today I want to go ahead and talk to you about becoming an organ donor. So, right now, currently, there are 1,114,000 people in the United States alone that are playing the waiting game, literally knocking on heaven's doors. They don't know when their time is going to come, and they don't know if they're going to be given a second chance. But according to the American Transplant Foundation, many of these people are going to unfortunately pass away while they're on the transplant list. So today, I would really like to touch base about becoming an organ donor. If you were able to save lives, would you? Not a career, not a doctor, not a nurse, but literally, if you had a gift and you were able to save lives, if you were able to save up to 8 lives at one time, would you? People don't put much thought into becoming an organ donor. And honestly, neither did I. 5 years ago, that would have never crossed my mind. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it would have never crossed my mind. But 3 years ago, my son was born with a congenital heart defect. And I went to one of his regular 6-month cardiology appointments. And after his echo and his ultrasound, um, his cardiologist came in and said that he had some news that he needed to talk to us about. And he said, your son is in heart failure and he will have to be put on a transplant list. A million questions, of course, ran through my mind. And the first thing is I I wasn't a donor. I'm here waiting, hoping that my son is going to get a heart from someone, but I wasn't even a donor. So immediately after everything set in, um, I decided that that's what I needed to do. So as I renewed my driver's license, I went ahead and I checked that little box that said that for me to become an organ donor. Um, so not a lot of people put much thought into it until they actually know someone who's on the list. A list that you never want to be on, a list that you don't want anybody else that you know or hold dear to be on. But according to UNOS.org, last year in 2019, in the United States alone, there was 39,717 people who got transplants. Out of those 39,717 people, 7,400 donors were living. How do you become an organ donor and be alive? Well, you can you can give a kidney, you can give parts of your liver, parts of your pancreas, even parts of your lung to help. And so you can still be alive and do that, and it not affect you. Of course, if you have the right criteria. So what do you need to be an organ donor? Well, you need to be healthy, of course. You need to be a match for the person, and you need to basically just want to. Now, of course, there's certain things that they look at. They're not going to get a person who overdosed and who was putting all these, drugs and bad things in their body. More than likely, they're not going to be a candidate to become an organ donor. But if someone like was in a car accident and they were on a ventilator in the ICU, they are a candidate to become an organ donor. Now, becoming an organ donor is something that you should really think about and also talk to your family about. Sure, you can put it on your driver's license and you're going to have that little heart in the corner that says that you're a donor. But if something happens and you don't get a chance to do that, it's very important that your family knows that you want to be a donor. So if that time comes, they know what to do. Um, Also, right now, currently, there is 23,401 people waiting for a kidney. The second to follow would be 8,896 people waiting on a lung. These numbers are high, and there's not nearly enough people to help with this. There's not nearly enough donors out there. And so that's why I really encourage y'all today to become an organ donor. So you can, by becoming an organ donor, you can save a child. You can give a woman the ability to have children. You can give a grandfather life to where he can see his grandchildren walk the stage at their high school graduations. But this is only going to work, and it'll only happen if we have enough people who are willing to become donors. Um, to close out, I do want to read a quote from the Fresh Quote, said it best. So they said, "Don't think of an organ donation as giving up part of yourself to keep a total stranger alive. It's really a total stranger giving up all of themselves to keep a part of you alive." So, in conclusion, today, I hope that you are urged, that you are inspired to go and become an organ donor, that you're inspired to save lives, and you have the ability to do so. It's pretty simple. So, again, just next time you go and renew your driver's license or get a driver's license, just remember, check that little box that says become an organ donor. Thank you.